Welcome everybody to the Leadership Academy 2024 graduation. We're so glad you're here. Thank you to those of you who are here in person supporting the graduates of this class and to our previous graduates. It's so nice to see so many of you here. Also, we have many people at a distance and we're grateful for everyone. So let the show begin. Let me tell you a little bit about the Leadership Academy. And it is a wonderful opportunity for people to grow and change and become even better versions of themselves. And of course, right now the clicker is not working. So, so this was a 10-year dream of mine. Come on in before it became reality. Can you help get our guests in? Sure. So it involves a lot of different things, including I'm going to need to make somebody at a distance a co-host to let people in. Let's see here. Who can be a co-host to help me let people in, please? Barbara, can I make you a co-host? Anyone? I'm making people randomly a co-host.
I could do it.
Because I can't speak and admit people at the same time. All right. Okay. So yes, if you can sign on to Zoom and I'll make you a co-host. Oh, no, don't worry about it. It's crowded up here. All right. So I was saying it's a year-long program and we have the best people who go through this program. They're already phenomenal people who just want to get even better. And so this is not a program for slackers. This is a program for people who really want to make a difference. And so you all know that. What is a leader? I always say a leader is somebody who positively influences other people. And it doesn't matter about position. It just matters that you want to positively influence other people. So you can positively influence people in your home, in your church, in your organizations, in your community. The participants are diverse. We have age range so far has been 20 to 78 years old. And it's a mix of people from different backgrounds too. We have all the way from the top, for example, at Talquin, Tracy, who's the head honcho at Talquin, put himself through the Leadership Academy, and then every year since then has sent somebody that he handpicks to come through the Leadership Academy. We have entrepreneurs. We have people who are between jobs. We have people who are retirees and thinking, what's next? People working in government, education, nonprofits, and the private sector. So I wanted to bring a couple people up who have experienced the Leadership Academy just to say, and if you want to stand just where you are, that's okay. And I'll just move the camera around to you since it's a little crowded. Yeah. So if you don't mind, this is Lauren Molinak. She's a healing musician and she's a graduate of last year's class. And Lauren, if you would just say a couple words about your experience and everybody here.
First, congratulations, y'all.
Speak louder, though.
Okay, I graduated from this class about, I think, two or 3 years ago now. And at first, the first 6 months were really tough for me. Like, my goal was like to lose weight and to just be a better person and heal some of the trauma that I had faced as a young person. So, but what happened was like I was beating up myself. I felt like I wasn't changing, and I was like, I don't know why I can't just like flip the switch, you know? And eventually I ended up like now I've lost over 60 pounds and I feel so much more healthier, and just in general I'm accomplishing a lot of things. I'm a musician, as you see here. So, and I believe that there's a new healing genre of music coming, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now with being a graduate from here.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. And next, I'd like to ask Marissa. Marissa Henderson with Advantage Aging Solutions is a graduate from, hang on a second, from 2019. And I believe that was the last year we did awards, and you were Emerging Leader of the Year.
I was, to my surprise. So I graduated as the Emerging Leader of the Year in 2019. Right now I'm the well, at that time, my director sent me through the program because I had just got this new position as director of the Aging and Disability Resource Center at Advantage Aging Solutions. And she thought that it would be valuable for me so that I could learn how to deal with my colleagues and everything. And so it was this program, I can tell you, changed my life, actually. First, to start out, I had the coaching session with Dr. Gabrielle. That really changed my life because she went and looked into like things that I needed personally. At the time, my parents were living with me because they had their house, they lost their house in a hurricane. She told me I need to apply for FEMA. I mean, just everything in my life, she just addressed for me. And that helped me at my job as well, because I was able to debrief that stuff. And then I could go to my job and do what I needed to do there. But first and foremost, being a servant leader, that is what I love the most. And she taught me how to do that and just how to communicate with the staff that I had. At that time, I was their peer, and everybody was upset with me. Everybody was upset with me for getting the position over them. And so 6 ladies that I had to supervise. And when I tell you every session that I came, I felt like it was a counseling session, right? Because I was like, they're doing this and that, what do I do? So it just was invaluable information that helped me. Dwight from Talquin, he was my mentor, and him and I would go back and forth, and he would give me advice on what to do and how to handle things. And just, I have grown from there. And I've always taken Dr. Gabrielle's advice on get into your strength zone. Stop just going day to day, get into your strength zone. So that's always been in the back of my mind. What is my strength zone? Let me get into my strength zone. So those are some of the things that I learned. I learned so much more, but I won't keep you all long today. But this is this is an excellent program. I recommend it for any and everybody.
Thank you so much, Marissa. Next, we're going to hear from Randall Crosby. Randall is actually joining us remotely, but he pre-recorded something that I hope will play. And Randall is blind, and we have a participant this year who is also visually impaired. And so we are going to hear from Randall, who is going to give a shout out to one of our participants this year.
Leadership Academy. I'm Randall Crosby, and I just want to say hello to Dr. Gabrielle, and most importantly, you, the graduating students of Leadership Academy. Well done. You did it. I know it's been a year-long journey for you. I enjoyed my journey going through it.
We can't hear it.
When I went through Leadership Academy. I know you've had a great experience, but you've learned a lot, and it takes time to realize how much you've learned. A couple months from now, you'll look back and realize how you're using your new skills. I want to give a shout out to Mark Turner, who is my peer in the Randolph Shepherd Vending Program. We call it the Business Enterprise Program also, and it's an opportunity for people who are blind to go into business. If you run across people who are blind, send them our way. Tell them to go to Division of Blind Services at a local district office here in Florida, and they could become a client, and they'll be on a new path. Best of luck to all of you. Congratulations.
All right. And so thank you, Randall. And yeah, Randall's audio was pretty low. And so apologies to those of you who couldn't hear it, and I had to crank it here. So, yes.
Thank you, Gabrielle. I'll just say congratulations to everyone there. Good job, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Tanya, do you want to say anything now?
Well, I'm just glad that I've been through the academy, the skills, the relationships, the change in thinking on how to address certain stressful situations or when unexpected things come up have been incredibly helpful for me. Even though I'm a retired attorney, I was in a car accident. I have some traumatic brain injury, residual things. And it really kind of changed the way my brain worked. And I'm not as easily discombobulated or uncertain. I definitely have more confidence in my ability to reach out to someone to help me. I'm not at all shy about saying, I don't understand that. Let's talk it through. And, I'm still treated with the level of respect and appreciation that I've always been treated with. And that has been very important to me, giving myself accolades for the things that I'm able to do and not pitying myself for what I cannot do, but looking for ways to accommodate it or work around it. And that's what I do these days.
Thank you, Tanya. Tanya was also an award winner. We do have another award winner in the room, and we'll just give a shout out to Sheila. She's not going to say anything, but we'll give a shout out to Sheila Williams. So thank you. So we know that people don't just snap their fingers like Lauren suggested. And, we want the quick fixes. We want the easy solutions, but leaders don't develop in a day. They develop daily by working on things that they need to work on. So there are different phases of leadership growth, and I want to share those with you. The first phase is I don't know what I don't know. And often this is early in our careers, early in our lives. We don't really have a clue as to what we don't know yet. Phase 2 is I know that I need to know. And this is when you start to gain an awareness and you discover that you need to learn how to lead. Phase 3 is I know what I don't know. This is when you really start to get it. And here you get better at things like your leadership, relationships, careers. You start to develop a plan for personal growth, and you start to realize what areas you need improvement in. Phase 4 is I know and grow, and it starts to show. This is when you really start to gain that confidence that comes from being a great leader. And so personal growth happens. You also start to have a really positive impact on other people. And this is when it gets exciting. You become a very effective leader, and you still need to think about things, though. And then phase 5 is I simply go because of what I know. This is when you're really focused on legacy. You are just a smooth running machine at this point. You have developed the skills to lead, and they've almost become automatic. And so your instincts and everything just pay off. So this is a very important phase to get to that not a lot of people get to. We earlier looked at the systematic views of ourselves, and I'll tell you that people need to look at themselves systematically and think of every aspect of your life impacts another aspect. So whatever on this wheel is important to you, and for most people it's everything, it impacts everything else. Think about your priorities. Now, let me just share with you how our year went. So month one was in February, and our kickoff was servant leadership. We had people at a distance as well, and we really focused on leadership. In March, we focused on next level communication, and it was Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. We had an assessment as well on communication. This was a big month in April where we discussed managing time, priorities, change, and stress. And we had several assessments, including a stress test, priorities, energy log, a time log, and so on. In May, we had marketing and branding yourself. And this doesn't just apply for people who are entrepreneurs. This applies to everyone who needs to connect with other people. And so we also took some personality assessments. Returning leaders had a session on leadership challenges. In June, we had cultivating a healthy organizational culture, and there was great discussions around that. That's my dog, Finn. Marissa, who hadn't been to the office in a while, asked me if I still had my dog, and it dawned on me that she was referring to Bodhi. And Lauren is responsible for this beautiful sketch that is a tribute to Bodhi, who used to be at the office all the time. But often now Finn is in his place, in his shoe steps, in his shadow. We also had an intern for the summer who joined us in that session, and that was great. Financial leadership strategies for success. There's Finn giving Mike a cuddle. Okay, you can't help but smile when you're petting Finn. That was July. Now, August, this group really wanted to focus on expressing their voices and public speaking. So we actually had 2 sessions, and August is where we began. And even the people, I think, who didn't realize how important this was, realized how important it was by the end of it. They got better. So everyone had an opportunity to give 2 speeches and got better. Again, in September, we continued the discussion. In October, we had Dr. Acton Clark Phyllis, who is here with us today and who is a graduate of last year's Leadership Academy. And that was a very successful, wonderful topic that she taught on adaptive leadership in October. In November, we had developing creativity and applied imagination to problem solving. You might be wondering, where did these topics come from? Every year is different. The people who are part of the class get to decide what they want to focus on. And so there's a survey that goes out in the beginning, but I always say, what's on your heart? And so we may come up with something completely different, and that's what we do. Returning Leaders had a leadership think tank, and I want to point out Amber Tynan here, stylish as always, okay? But that was a great session in November for both groups. And then right before we met today, we had intentional leadership, choosing a life of purpose. We just had that session, and I think it went really well. So I cannot say enough positive things about this class. They're about to give you their take on how the year went, and they're going to each have about 3 minutes to share with you their own experiences.
Certain
People in the class are known for speaking for a long time, and so certain individuals really like to hear their own voices, and so you'll see me giving the rap sign when that happens. So one thing I love about the Leadership Academy is it's leaders helping leaders. And so this was many years ago. We had this team were amazing, and it was several graduates of the Leadership Academy. You might recognize some of them in there. And we were helping with Girls on the Run, and we did this mermaid themed thing, but we help each other in all kinds of different ways. We help each other with nonprofit stuff, with education, with getting the word out. We help each other just one-on-one. It really is a powerful group of people. So it's not about quantity with this group, it's about quality. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the 2024 graduates. And Denise is not able to be with us, but Morgan is going to be reading her speech on her behalf. And we have Kevin, Mark, Mike, Morgan, and Samantha, who will all share a little bit about their experience. So I have a saying, true transformation begins when people overcome fears and self-limiting beliefs to get out of their comfort zone and into their strength zone. And this is exactly what Marissa was talking about. Really, it's about, how do you get into your strength zone? You've got to just give up all the things that you're so used to doing, just going through the motions of life, and really lead your life. So let me welcome Morgan, who will go ahead and read Denise's speech. Whoop, whoop. And I will get out of the way. All right. And tell us your connection to her, too. It's in front of you as well, if you want to.
Yes. Okay. Glasses. So Denise was my mentor mentee. We were partners in crime, and we just clicked. We clicked so well, and we're really different. She's a process person, and I'm not a process person. So it was really fun and informative to see what gifts we gave each other. You know, it was really, really lovely. And she didn't tell me when she sent me an email, I'm not coming, that, by the way, you're going to be reading for me. So Denise Bishop, she is Executive Chief of Staff at the Children's Forum. She wants to start by thanking Gabrielle for being such a responsive leader. She was flexible with the content, but firm with her feedback. She also fed us incredibly well. Every month we had a different food to enjoy. She didn't realize that I was going to be adding my pieces to this too. That's what you get. I want to thank my colleagues and new friends for investing in each of us, not only as professionals, but as humans. Our complicated lives outside of work define us as individuals. It's our families, our health, and our well-being that should take precedence. Finally, I want to thank my mentoring partner, Morgan. There we go. Morgan was exactly the partner I needed for this experience. She provided me with an opportunity to stretch myself creatively and to think outside of the box. She also instilled confidence in me and reinforced that I had something special to offer. Essentially, what we taught each other over the course of the year is that I need to think and act more like an entrepreneur, and she needs to think and act more like a manager. It was a win-win. So, what else did I gain from this experience? Let's see. Do I go? Right button? Maybe. Right button. Okay. There we go. I mean, the truth is I've been in leadership roles for the last 20 years, and I consider myself to be pretty good at it. I have a robust resume full of all kinds of jargon and buzzwords like strong written and verbal communication skills, ability to guide operational management, effective problem-solving skills to impact organizational growth. But honestly, who cares? I can hear Denise saying that. Does that stuff really matter if you are unwilling or unable to reflect on who you are as a leader? What I really gained this year was the gift of introspection. Here are some of my takeaways. I learned that I often internalize organizational conflict and feel a personal responsibility to fix it. The reality is some problems aren't mine to fix. My daughter taught me the acronym Q-TIP, Q-T-I-P. Anyone know what that stands for? Yeah, I see some head shaking. Yes, yes. Quit taking it personally. It has been a game changer. I learned the power of not only telling one story, but also being in the story. I am an empath through and through, and stories are my jam. But mostly when I am the listener, I cry, I laugh, and I feel a very deep connection to the storyteller. But I rarely frame my own experience that way. This is something I'm going to start today. And finally, I was reminded that trust is the foundation of any relationship, personal or professional. Without it, you are always on shaky ground. Once you crumple up that piece of paper labeled mutual trust, it will never be completely smooth again. I have learned to accept that and, in essence, proceed with caution. Thanks to you all for helping me see my potential.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for reading that so beautifully, Morgan.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Kevin Kidd.
All right, I am up. Okay.
You are up.
All right, I'm gonna set a time to make sure I get all my time. All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kevin Kidd. I'm the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Tabula Rasa. Yes, good morning. It's always nice to see who's paying attention. All right. But with that said, I just want to say how grateful I am for this opportunity. I first heard about Gabrielle's program through Tanya. I had put out in the universe that I wanted to be a professional motivational speaker. Now, did I feel like I was worthy of that? No. If you get me up in a church, I'll give you an hour. I'll do it for free. If you get me in a community event like this, I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll do it for free. But it was something about telling the world my time is valuable enough for you to pay me to do this thing that I'm good at, that I had problems with. And Tanya says, you gotta talk to Gabrielle. You gotta talk to her. And I was like, I don't know. I've been through a lot of leadership courses. I could probably teach the course, but I can't do this if she's not gonna help me become a motivational speaker. And from the moment I met her, she spoke life into me and said, you already are a motivational speaker. I just have to teach you how to get through this. Basically, she was telling me how to be professional at it, how to charge, and how to get paid what you're worth. And so I dove into the class because leadership development is my jam, and got to meet these wonderful people who inspired me. Shout out to my mentor and mentee, Samantha, who we had a lot of great discussions. But one of the most powerful things I got out of this, and I tell her this often, is we were sitting right there and Samantha told me one day, your voice really has value. And it's funny, you think I felt that already, but when she said it, it spoke life into me. And I was like, yeah, I have something to give to people and it's worthy. And from there, just poured myself into the sessions and the classes. And I really felt blessed this entire year. And I feel like God puts you in the places where you're supposed to be. I know a lot of people have gone through a lot. In Taylor County, we've had 3 hurricanes in the last year or so. And through it all, I just still felt blessed. To let y'all know how blessed I felt, we were driving through when that tornado hit Tallahassee. Me and my wife were on I-10 driving through it. Do you hear what I'm saying? So with that said, I want to thank God because I know that he's always with me and protecting me. And I know that he put me in this situation with these people for a reason. And I'm so grateful for that. And I end every speech with this. And because she's my soulmate, I already know she's going to hate me doing this. But I just want to thank the love of my life, my wife, my partner, Tina Kidd. I do all this so that I can put that smile on your face and make you happy. And maybe you'll stay with me for a few more years. Thank you.
And let me just say that those of us in the Leadership Academy know that his wife is a huge part of his heart. There's not a single.
The camera is showing your butt.
Oh, thank you. Okay. There's not a single session that goes by that he doesn't mention his wife. And so, no, I want you to know that you are always in his mind, in his heart, and a big part of his leadership success. Okay. And hopefully those at a distance, the camera is better now. So I would like to present you with your, can you take a photo by any chance? Can you take a picture? Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hug you.
All right. Maybe, hang on.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
All right, we got our photographer. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's see.
Is it supposed to be on behind you?
No, I didn't want to have I didn't want to have that on the person when they were speaking, so I will go ahead and put this back. And we know who's next, right? Mike Grice is up next. Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We'll go with Mark. Somehow I moved the order. We're gonna go with Mark.
A lot of time.
And yes. Sorry about that. I got a little discombobulated as the word of the day is. So Mark, come on up. And I'm just trying to find where the camera is so that I can see if it's showing anyone's butt now.
It's always important.
I mean, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, wow. Give me a minute to, I think I have 8 people here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's give them a shout out.
Way to go, Mark. Our quiet
Nice.
Mark.
Two grandchildren and 5 children and a son-in-law. So, and that automatically puts you in the position of leadership, whether you like it or not. And I've read one time that nobody should ever take a position until they have raised children, and then all of a sudden they have in-laws, son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, because somebody else raised those children. But you're still a father and a mother to those. So I'm getting away. I thought today's session, I am a mother's child. Somebody heard me preach years ago and they said, we can hear your mom. And one of my goals on my wall, I've written, become dad. I want to be like my dad. Still at 66, I want to be like him. And from childhood as a son, a middle child, the peacemaker, that ultimately is what I wanted to do when I came to this program. I wanted to learn better how to build up people, because I had just gotten myself elected to a position that I found out if you talk to the wrong people in the wrong ways at the wrong time, you can end up in jail. I'm like, I wanted to be a rep. I don't want to go to jail for talking too much. And that's, wow, I needed this. And I came because I heard Dr. Gabrielli speak, and she had the boldness of an evangelist, the boldest evangelist, one that tells people what they need to hear, tells people so that they will hear, and tells people so that they will change, if they will. But it's up to them. And I came because I knew she could tell me, and she did. She took me aside a time or two, you know, said, you need to listen. And only two people in my life had the authority to tell me, you need to listen more. You need to love more. And that's what she meant. And that's why I came. And that's what I got. I got that. And at 66, you would think I'm thinking, you know, at 66 we can give up, right? No, never, never, never. Stop. Never stop. Keep going. Nothing gonna break my stride, they said, you know. You just keep going. Whatever you're doing, keep going. And it's just, whether it's I wrote down the vowels, AEIOU. Everything I want to do from here out is about my relationships. Obviously, I want to be a bridge builder. I want to help my children so that they can help their grandchildren, so that those grandchildren can help their grandchildren. You know, action, that's all we talked about. All the time we talked about action. My grandsons have never heard me talk. I just never thought of that. I just never thought of that. This is awesome. But my program that I'm a part of is a business enterprise program. Randall is right. If you know somebody who's blind, going blind, there is a program for them. Please. Florida has the best division of blind services. We have the best program. It's been out there for more than half of a century. We have a program. Point them toward the blind services, okay? Point them to
We
it.
try. Click.
Yeah, so anyways, I want to leave with the IOU. And I'm going to pay you back in time by my actions and my enterprise. And I owe everybody in my life the same, okay? And every opportunity I can to build those relationships. And the same thing for all of us. I got so much from all of you in every month that we came.
Thank you. We have to get a photo.
Oh,
Come on.
the one who talked too much. I like that.
Here, it's yours.
What is it?
It's a certificate.
Oh,
All right. Graduation certificate. Got it. Congratulations. All right, now.
Congratulations, Mark.
All right, you got a congratulations there.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna go to Mike. So, I don't know what's happening with AV, but let's see here. There we go.
That's cool.
Oh, yes, it's nicely. All right, let's see. There we go. Mark. Right, we just did Mark. Now let's go to Mike. I think it's that one.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. Light on my eyes. I see.
Mike, yes, I'm gonna read it again.
Okay. All right, perfect. Good evening, everybody. As the slide said, I'm Mike Grice. I work for Topman Electric. So just to kind of give you all a little bit about my experience this year and you know what I took away from it. I'll say that, you know, the food, it was really good, right? Every month is, I mean, you look at me, you can tell I'm not missing a whole lot of meals, and in fact, I probably help some other people with theirs also, making sure everybody's got a clean plate at the end of the deal. But anyway, so you know, I see that kind of as a kind of like a symbology, and you'll know where I'm going with that here in a minute. You know, because when you're around people that you want to be around and interact with and things like that, you know, what do y'all do together? You break bread, right? We talk about that at Topman all the time. We eat together a lot, but that's because we see ourselves as a family, and that's one way you spend time with the people you care about, and that's how we kicked off the session every time. I'm not sure if that was by design or not, but a person could read into it that way. And so one thing I'll say about the year, one thing we didn't do well, we didn't follow agendas worth the hoot. We were agenda breakers. But you go into a program like this, and the value doesn't come from the material, right? We live in the technology age. Any one of us could go home tonight and learn about anything and everything material-wise that we covered in this program. We could listen to the same audiobooks on Spotify. We could do anything the material wise we covered in the program. We could do it tonight on our own, right? And you're not going to get the same value from it because it doesn't come from the information or the material. That's important now, don't get me wrong, but it comes from the people you interact with when you're reviewing that material, okay? So the things that we were able to do as a group and the things that provided value were the sharing of ideas, right? We had a diverse group. And when I say diverse group, it's a diverse background, a diversity of thought. We came from different places. We grew up in different places. You know, Kevin and I were talking today. He grew up in rural South Florida. I grew up in rural Southeast Colorado. Worlds apart, but you know, a lot of the thought processes are the same, but some of them are different. You know, all of us have these different backgrounds and different experiences, and we were able to share with each other. We were able to build off each other's energies and you know, coach each other up on life, on lessons learned, on struggles that we're going through, and it just gives you a different perspective sometimes that, you know, maybe your problem isn't as big as you think it is. Maybe you're able to do more than you give yourself credit for. And, you know, that's where the real value of the program is the folks that you experience the program with, the material that you experience with them, or the people that you experience the material with. Said that a little bit backwards there, but I think I'm cutting into my 3 minutes. I will go on record as saying I'm not one of the ones that Gabrielle was talking about. I'm very punctual. I don't. So I'll leave it to y'all to figure out who that was. But hey, I was under time. Okay. But thank y'all for your time.
Here, come back up here.
Oh, goodness. I got it.
You're getting the pattern down here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'll keep that one, yeah.
Next in line, we have someone we've already heard from, but this time it's with her own words. Her own words, Morgan. And I briefly put this up on the screen so you can see her name, Morgan Patterson, with Cover Your Assets. All right.
You've told them who I am.
Yes.
I am cheating. Everybody else did such a great job of speaking, and I have got mine written. So I'm going to read and talk. I tried to dodge public speaking. I'll sneak drop that in.
She was absent.
I was absent as many times as I could.
She was ready to quit because of the public speaking one.
I was.
And
She
forced
told me
her.
I couldn't. So here we are. And I didn't. So here we are. So let's see. I'm going to say good evening. You said good morning. You took care of this morning, so I'm going to take care of this evening. So what I want you to know is being part of this leadership group has been transformative for me, both professionally and personally. When I first joined, I thought I was bringing my business, Cover Your Assets, to the table. What I didn't expect was how much this group would help me bring myself to the table. So at 65, I had stepped into entrepreneurship. No formal training. What I did have was a vision and a whole lot of life experience. My time here has taught me to connect those experiences, the ones I thought were separate, and see the deeper purpose in my work. So in this group, I've learned to show up fully and lead authentically. I've been challenged to dig into why I do what I do, like creating products like my Stealth Skirt, and it has an unsnappable panty, so it's a skirt. I know you women know what skirts are, men maybe not. It has an unsnappable panty to help women feel free, safe, and confident wherever they are. But it's really more than a product, and that's what this group has made me recognize. It is my mission. So this leadership journey showed me my business isn't just about solving a practical problem, which my skirt does. It's about addressing something much deeper: women's dignity, their safety, and their right to move freely through the world. So here's the truth. I couldn't have gotten here alone. The conversations, the reflections, and the powerful insights from all of you have given me the courage to own my story and to lead with it. I used to hesitate when sharing where my ideas came from or what really drives me. Not anymore. Now I see those pieces of my past, my work as a nurse, my Camino pilgrimage, and even the moments I have felt the most vulnerable as the very thing that gives me the strength to lead today. So this group has reminded me that leadership isn't about having it all figured out. It's about showing up and taking risks and staying true to your values. I'm proud to say that Cover Your Assets reflects my values, supporting women, making eco-conscious choices, and giving back 10% of our profits to protecting women worldwide. So being in this room among leaders who inspire me has been a gift. I'm walking away with greater clarity, with deeper purpose, and confidence to say, I belong here. We all do. Thank you. Shall we? We shall.
Yay.
It's yours.
Oh.
All right. That was beautiful. Just beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, our grand finale speaker tonight is Samantha
Look
Vance.
at that, Jacksonville Sports Style.
She gonna sing this too?
I'm not.
One thing, let me just say, one thing that the Leadership Academy participants have learned is that I have a rule that when people are late, they sing. And what we've learned is that Samantha has the most beautiful voice of all of us. So we don't mind it when she breaks the rule.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. This is really an amazing time for all of us. It marks a monumental day for us to appreciate the success we've had and then the triumphs we've had along the way.
And for some of us, it's marks a day where we have a bit of relief that we get some time back on our schedule. So that's great. Tonight I have notes, but my mentor here has told me that I should not be using my notes. I should go off the cuff. So I will heed the advice of him and just share with you openly and transparently what has transpired for me during this time. When I was 24 years old, 20 years ago, one of my bosses at the time gave me a book. And inside of that book, he wrote, "You are the 51st." And the title of the book was 50 Women Who Changed the World. It has taken 20 years for me to embrace the idea that I could even be the 51st, a woman who could change the world. And I think back to the last time there was a graduation here. I was in this room and only one person knew that I was barely living while I was in this room. And Lauren, I remember your name because the songs that she sang helped heal me during that night. I was literally dying. My body was shutting down completely. And it was in that moment that I felt I couldn't go on. And I absolutely could not be someone who helped change the world. But she came up to me and she said, "You need to be in this. And I keep telling you this every year. You need to be in this academy." And I said, "Okay, fine," because I had just said, I think a couple days before, that God, whatever you place in my life, I'm going to accept it and say yes to it. And I wanted to tell her no, like I did all the other years. But that night I said yes. And through Lauren's music, through her offering to help me, and through the doctor who was here, the holistic doctor, who knew something was wrong with me and offered to see me for free, my healing journey began. And so when I came into this academy, I did not ever think I could be the woman or a woman who could change anybody's world, because mine was falling apart. And so now I stand here today knowing, finally, and embracing that not only am I the 51st, but I am already have left a legacy for so many women and girls and families. And then to even hear my classmates speak well of me, and my sister Gabrielle to think highly enough of me to scholarship me to be here when I couldn't even afford a meal last year. I didn't know how I was going to make the next thing. I'm grateful to be the executive director that was up there now of the Jacksonville Sports Foundation. I'm grateful that love has found me, that y'all don't need to know all that. That was a part of the thing. And I do want to look at my notes to say this. My classmates, I appreciate all of you so much. Mark, I watched you grow in your career, your personal life, and in your faith. And your smile is such a delight. I am grateful to have shared the class with you, and I wish you the very best. And thank you for always posting in our group sessions, because that really does help me. Mike, you are an amazing leader and a well-respected colleague. And just to see you and watch you bring your laptop here and get work done while we're learning, it says a lot about you that you're able to juggle a lot, and your family is blessed to have you, and your children are blessed to have you. Thank you. Morgan, we watched you grow from not knowing if you wanted to be an entrepreneur to being this incredible, boss lady, just like your husband said, right? She's the boss. And not only are you doing the thing, you are really showing us that the thing can be done the way that you need it to be done. And sometimes it's hard to do that when you're on your own trying to figure it out. And I admire you for taking those steps to figure it out and get it done. You really know how to cover your assets. Denise, who's not here, to watch her thrive and excel professionally was an inspiration to me. Denise really grew, and I think she doesn't realize how much she empowered all of us to be better. Just as we watched her, literally, is like, you know, a step ladder, watched her grow. And lastly, well, not lastly, because Gabrielle, you're last. My mentor, Kevin, when I couldn't see the solution, you gave me answers. When I didn't know I needed advice, you showed me the way. And Gabrielle, I thank you for seeing me when I couldn't see myself. So thank you all, because this is, I was not planning to cry today at all. And I speak a lot and I'm not a crier when I speak. So this speaks volumes to me. And I am the only one, I think, who's gone over my time. Also speaks volumes to how much this program has meant to me. And so lastly, and most importantly, I want to thank God, because now I stand before you not only living, but I am now happy, healthy, and whole. So thank you.
Yeah.
So I like to call what happened God winks. You know this, right? So it was a God wink. In fact, last year afterward, we are going to get a group photo together. Last year, we got all the Leadership Academy graduates and the current class, and we took a picture right there. And Samantha didn't even know it. She was in the background, and it looked like she was part of the photo. And that's why I said, you need to be here, my sister. You need this. And yeah, I'm so proud of you. You are amazing. And, you know, sometimes we go through the tough things in life so that we have gratitude for what we have. And the soul would have no rainbow if the eyes had no tears. And here you go.
I got a lot of rainbows.
In my soul. Thank you. Right, that's yours to keep. All right, thank you. So let's give a round of applause to the Leadership Academy graduates. And I'm just going to briefly stop. Also give a round of applause. Look at all the people here. Yes. So I'm just going to turn the camera around a little bit so the people at a distance can see everybody. So many family members are here and Leadership Academy graduates, and we're just really grateful for everybody. So I wanted to speak briefly about the return on investment for the Leadership Academy. It really is profound, and it's not always just quantifiable stuff. People's quality of life improves. You learn from each other, you grow with each other, and you'll be friends for life. Mark my words, you will be. It's beautiful. And I bet Lauren had no idea the impact that she had last year. And little did you know, my sister Samantha, that Lauren was struggling at that time. Lauren was going through her own struggles, but through healing music, she healed herself. And that's what I've been telling Lauren all along. And so now Lauren is in a whole new different place. But I'll tell you, I think so many times when we go through the difficult parts of our lives, we forget that we can still make an impact. And that's exactly what has happened with all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So we do connect technology, although technology is not always cooperative, but we stay connected, and all ages are welcomed. Here's our youngest participant. And I want to give a shout out to Barbara Ann Cox, who passed away, as she was our oldest participant, and she was amazing. And she did so much for so many. We have a lot of fun together. We have small group practice. We have a lot of smiles, lots of smiles, and a lot of food because, you know, I said it before, but healthy home cooked meals. To me, it's like feeding the soul, you know. I don't have a family of my own, so you are my family, and I do feel like, you know, if I feed you, then I'm feeding you not just with the nourishment of food. So we have amazing returning leaders. You saw Tanya at a distance there. We have a bunch of people who have graduated and who stay connected, and many of them are here tonight. So thank you. Year one actually began 12 years ago, and it was a partnership with Tallahassee Community College. And things have changed through the years, but we have a history now of many excellent leaders. Since the pandemic, there's Bodie in that photo, by the way, that Marissa was talking about. Bodie was a staple here. And yes, and so we had just phenomenal people. And I'll tell you that through the years, and the pandemic kind of changed everything. We did drop down. Yeah, there we are in our masks, you know. We had to, but we did go remote in 2020, and it was pretty miserable for a lot of people to adapt to that. But after that, I decided that I wanted to keep it to 6 max. And I really feel like 6 is the sweet spot, the number that seems to work really, really well for people connecting. So we have a history of many excellent leaders. And let me just wrap up by showing you this photo. There's the photo on the lower right side of Samantha in the background, looking like she was part of the leadership. See? Everyone else are graduates of the Leadership Academy, and there she was. And I know, and that's a God wink to me. That's like, okay, you are meant to be here. You need to be here. And this is going to be a life-changing year for you. And so I do feel like for everybody, it was a life-changing year, and, you know, connecting with each other. So I did want to share the summative evaluation results. The group took a survey and said that, oh, okay. We just lost the AV here. Okay. So before the Leadership Academy, they said they were an average of a 7. After Leadership Academy, 8.84 in terms of their leadership abilities. That's a 21% increase. Year one had a 50% increase to 9.2. And let me just say that leaders do a lot of things, but they challenge the process. They inspire a shared vision. They enable others to act, they model the way, and they encourage the heart. So for anyone out there thinking of maybe 2025, you want to be part of us, let me just say that you can go to bit.ly/Leadership Academy 2025 and find out more information. I do have a bonus up for the next 2 days. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for everybody who made this a success. And Dr. Phyllis Acton Clark, I want to thank you again, because she's been behind the scenes helping everything here. And let's just say, thank you. All right. So Tanya in the chat box said, incredible class. Truly it is. So we're going to go ahead and stop here. And if anyone has any questions, we'll be glad to entertain them. But please enjoy your guests, and don't leave, Leadership Academy participants and graduates, because we need to get our group photo, our annual group photo. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody at a distance.
Bye, Gabrielle. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Can we do the photo first?
Yes, of course, we're going to do the photo first.